Do not take no picture of me because you have me on pictures. Ask me.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do nobody picture without their consent. You know that.
Oh, but
You didn't know
Why
that?
would we do a reserve study if we're not gonna budget it for the future? You guys, to save us from a special assessment, we have to pay now. So either you pay now or you're gonna pay in a special assessment.
alright, y'all, what's up? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Trini Fishing, man. Today we got an HOA meeting, y'all. I haven't been to one of these things in a very long time, but apparently, we got another assessment coming up? Most likely. Yeah, I'm tired of these assessments. I'm tired of this confusion. I'm tired of like the BS, the bull crap. Tired of it, y'all. But hey, stay tuned. We're gonna do some public interviews. We're gonna find out what the residents think about the HOA, the red and green flags in the HOA. We're gonna be asking this question: what does it feel like to be paying special assessments every year? And what's the major red and green flags of living in an HOA? Hey, we're gonna crack the code today. Stay tuned and find out, y'all.
Don't tell me.
No, you don't know who you
I do know.
You know the rules, you've been on the finding committee, the rules committee,
I
and
know
the
the rules.
board.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm not discussing it with you.
Sandy, what your concern has been noted, okay?
He should not be on the board.
Your concern's been noted. All right, so we're gonna move on. So about the second to none tree trimming,
Can I just speak about the minutes?
okay?
Just for we
Go ahead.
finish.
Stay on the agenda.
Yeah, the minutes. I would like to ask all the board members, when we send out the minutes for approval, or we approve or make a comment, not to make the comment here, because we could have the adjustment done once we agree on that. So I'm just asking for we don't come here with all the minutes, or then this, make adjustment to read again. Let's make it right before, okay, guys? Thank
Does
you.
that work for everyone?
Good point.
Anybody else have anything to say about, anything else to say about that?
About what?
About the minutes?
No, we approve.
We're good.
So we can't make a motion to approve the minutes because they do have to be revised.
Thank you.
Routine tree trimming, as well as we're gonna remove some dead trees. So this is not part of that. We have to address that as a board. We have not addressed that yet.
For the ones with roots, wouldn't it be pointless to take care of it then if you're gonna move the roots in?
We don't plan on leaving the roots in.
Oh, okay, I thought you said you were gonna leave them, okay.
No, definitely not.
All right, sorry.
No, we have to look at that separately, because now they're interfering with foliage. So that's not just routine trees. That's
Take you and Big Mouth out the dope.
public property. So, and, what I would say, and this is also my understanding, and what I've spoken with, is we're not gonna have a tree company do paving any more than we'd have a paving company remove roots.
There you go.
Trees stick with trees, paving stick with paving.
He's still on the board.
The paving company has to look at this roof because they penetrate drains, they have to do with pipes, they have to do with curves, they have to do with breaking the asphalt. So some collaboration, I believe, has to take place between whoever's gonna do the roof and whoever's gonna do the paving.
As long as
Yeah.
they can work together, I don't care. I have a question.
Sure.
So with the upcoming hurricane season, that means all the trees that's hanging over everybody's building is gonna be completely.
Those are the ones that are getting trimmed, that's correct.
Not trim, cut.
They're getting trimmed. They're getting
Okay, the
trimmed.
last time they
for-
were trimmed.
Whether it's cut or trimmed, they're being dealt with for storm season.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
Yes. We had in, the last 6 months, all the tree trimming of the Australian pines that are up and down Laurels. Why was, or maybe it was, but shouldn't have all these other tree trimming been in that particular time when we had cutters out here?
So we had tree trimming, but it's necessary to do it again.
Okay, so you're saying it wasn't included for this other trees?
Some
just
trees
Laurel
were
Drive?
trimmed, the pines were trimmed, some other trees were trimmed, but they do need to be trimmed.
Yeah, cause we had to trim some for the roofers to even be able to
Yeah.
enact their work.
So we have the other topics, we could have Suzette start with her report, and then we get interrupted. Okay. All right, Suzette? Ready to report?
Mine is very quick because we have extensive time last time, talking about this. We are just repeating here everything about the special assessment and our actual situation on delinquency list that I just reduced a little bit, maybe 10,000, 20,000. And our real amount in the bank that are finally, as you see, laundry, we were able to make the adjustment, is our first account that we have the right amount in that account. All other accounts, we are looking for to find out what should be the real balance. And we have some notes here, but I would like to ask if somebody have any question about the numbers. I don't think so, but if you have, I can answer.
I have a question. They say you're the treasurer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, did everybody pay their still pay the assessment or their outstanding that they owe? Cause a lot of people we know, and I think it's unfair for some to go forward doing stuff, and they're spending all this free money doing all of this crap. Why? Cause I guess it's free, because we working people have no say, so all of that money going out to do crap that they shouldn't, but, people still sitting their butt in here and they not, and they didn't pay up. So, isn't it unfair for some to pay all and some to not pay?
Yeah, about how to make people responsible to pay their fees, we will be talking, our manager will be talking about NOLA. So, because the single way to impose somebody to pay is going legally against them to have they paying their fees. About the special assessment, you have the
Casey,
whole
give us one
information
sec.
here.
Please.
Yeah, give us a second.
If it is he okay, Phil?
You can.
Yeah, so about the numbers, the special assessment, nobody's touching the money from the special assessment. Whatever we have here is whatever we have to keep working on. And the tree trimming, we are not using nothing from the special assessment because this amount was budgeted in our annual budget. So we are trying the best to make work on whatever we have and whatever we have to do.
You should make everybody pay.
Today we have 210,000 behind on the special assessment.
It represents a
That's delinquency,
Yes,
just for the assessment.
just for the
and are NOLA letters gone out to these people, have payment plans been set up?
the NOLA,
We're gonna address that.
Jeff will talk about NOLA.
Pay your assessment.
After the presentation,
Okay.
And the association fee.
Just for we finish the numbers, somebody has any question about the numbers that are exposed here? Okay, Phil.
Okay. Casey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Who's Casey?
Is there a delay?
Yeah, who's Casey?
Casey, are you there?
It's not moot?
No.
And of course, to find out more, the association as well as the board members are gonna have questions. And, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, so,
Yes, please, and value.
okay. So you can speak to everyone now.
Wait, who the hell is this guy?
No, go ahead.
I'm hearing you guys. But so a reserve study, to answer your first question, a reserve study, basically, you guys have all your components, your pump house, your pool, your roadways, your roofs, your painting, all these components that get repaired, get replaced, maybe scheduled, maybe on an as-needed basis, but they all cost money to replace. So the idea in a perfect world, all of those funds are already there so that everybody knows what they contribute every month, and there are no special assessments. When time comes to do roofing, there's no more money needed from anybody for roofing. When time comes to resurface the pool, it's already there. So the goal of a reserve study or a perfectly managed association is to have funding available for all the components so that everything can be kept in whatever condition you guys want it to be kept in, or at least the standard of care for a community of your kind. So a reserve study really gives you the plan to do that. So instead of maybe you guys contribute $0 or $50 a month to reserve, we would look at your community, look at everything that you have, put together a report and analysis that basically calculates how much you should contribute each month so that you can afford all of the repair and replacement projects without special assessments. If everything's working perfectly, your community is kept up to snuff, and nobody pays anything aside from your monthly HOA dues. Part of that would be for your operational budget, part of that would be for your reserves, so that that those funds are there before you need to spend them. Now you guys are all two-story buildings, so whether or not you do a reserve study is kind of up to you guys, whether or not you want to proactively manage your funds and be able to address projects when they need to be addressed. There's some requirements for three-story condos. And as far as the timeline of a reserve study, it's mid-August, working backwards for January 1st.
All right, Casey, you broke up. Can you? Casey, you broke up. Can you go back?
Let's just say sometime in November. To where?
Well, let's say back up about,
Timeline.
2 minutes.
say 2 minutes. Yeah, we're getting a big lag,
Maybe we'll
unfortunately.
start with the timeline, so we'll start from fresh and big questions after. The timeline of a reserve study, it's not a super complicated process. We'd be inspecting your property, all that would happen in one day. We look at all the roofs, the painting, clubhouse, pool. An analysis takes a few weeks, and then you have a report, or the board would have a report. We work together to make any revisions if anything's needed. So a lot of it is really if you have information available and we're able to come inspect the property, it's maybe a 6-week process start to finish.
Okay.
If that, but I don't know what we're looking for, but maybe the main goal of a reserve study is to calibrate that monthly contribution so that it's correct specifically for your community, for the age and the condition of all components. A reserve study is a complicated document. It would include your roofing, painting, and everything else that you have, would plot out how much life it has left, how much we estimate it would cost to replace and repair that project, and then put together different ways to fund that without special assessments. That's the main goal. You don't fund your reserves at all. Every project will be from special assessment. If you overfund your reserves, you're going to be, contributing more than you need. So you want to get the right amount so that you're contributing the right amount, not too much, not too little, so that projects can get done.
Okay, but it is, as far as a time frame, 6 weeks is something that is achievable.
I'm happy to take questions or other.
What was that?
He's ready for questions.
For sure. Yeah. Most of where the time comes is definitely yes. Most of the time that gets spent from initial signing to the final report, frankly, is on the association side. Communities open, so it's a little easier. Maybe getting some documents, getting a couple documents we need filled out, and then a lot of times we send a report. If we send a report in February, say the beginning of the year, we won't hear from the board for 6 months because
often do you feel a reserve study should be performed?
That's a very good answer depending on the committee, so I'll answer kind of for you guys. A reserve study, after, basically a reserve study, the goal of a reserve study is to come up with your contribution for this upcoming budget. Now, we will calculate 30 years into the future and what you theoretically should be contributing every single year, but we all know things change quickly, so we may say your groups, are brand new, and I believe some of them are, and, we expect 20 to 25 years, but maybe 6 years from now, you have major leaks and, things change, and that's why you would update the reserve study. But every 3 to 5 years is probably a good point. It's very specific to when you need something changed. So when there are a lot of discrepancies from the report to reality, which usually doesn't happen in year 1, maybe it happens in year 2, certainly by year 5. Maybe our inflation assumptions aren't correct anymore, or construction costs skyrocket or go down, or your parking lots start moving away quicker than you expect. So once there really is a significant enough discrepancy, that's when you should update the study. But probably more often than 3 years, probably overkill for a community like yours, and less than 5 years or after 5 years, the study will probably be pretty inaccurate.
Okay. So Jeff, we'll start with you. Do you have any questions for Casey about a reserve study?
I do not.
Okay. I'll turn it over to the board.
One question, Casey. How are you? Good evening. Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Okay, my question is, if I heard you clearly, now I'm aware that there is currently no mandate for buildings under 3 stories. We are a 2-story complex, and I thought I heard you say that there is no mandate, no requirement for us to have a study at this time. Is that correct?
You're breaking up, I heard your question.
Could you repeat my question?
Yes, so the question is, because we're a 2-story. It's a great internet in here. Yeah. Which is weird. Sorry, we got you back. We're having Wi-Fi.
I heard the question.
Okay, go ahead.
They were breaking up. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hear me? Okay. Yeah, there's a whole structural integrity reserve study, which serves requirement for 3 stories to you guys. That just doesn't apply blanket across career association. Now, where not a requirement, but the statute does require that all condominiums reserve for roofing, painting, paving, and anything else over $10,000.
you. Any other questions? Suzette?
Yeah, hi. We are hearing from homeowners, they are concerned about, as we are aware of how much we should be budgeting, we will be obligated to budget that.
Do you hear the question?
I heard the big portion of it, I think. Maybe you wanna turn your video off, Jeff? Might, my internet's slightly fast, so here, might just help a little bit. If you wanna ask the question again,
Can you ask
it
that?
might help a little.
Can you ask my question again? Can you ask my question? No? Okay, the question is, once you tell us, can you hear?
It's gonna be better to go on the phone.
I can hear you, the question.
Okay,
Yeah.
once we are told from you how much we should be budget for each project, we will be responsible to have that budget in our next budget, or we can just have as a parameter to keep going. We will be obligated, because homeowners are asking, will we be obligated to have that in our budget, or we can just use that as a support for our budget?
Good question. Yeah, so really, I'm gonna talk theoretical numbers. Let's say our report says, based on all, remember, all of your things, you should be contributing $100 per unit per month. Doesn't require you to.
$100 per unit?
We made it.
So hypothetical.
It does allow you as an association to waive reserves. So if we say we recommend $100 a month, or they say, okay, or recommends $75 a month, for whatever reason you guys come up with, and then the community can vote on what they would like to do. So it's not, you're not obligated for a structural integrity reserve study, so 3 stories or taller, yes, those communities are obligated to follow the study. So you guys really, I would be a consultant for you guys, and you would be getting information to know that, hey, this is the number that or that we believe would properly fund your reserve over a period of 30 years. This is what you should contribute, but that doesn't mean that's what you have to contribute. It's still decided as a community. If you wanted to follow our recommendation, if you wanted to partially follow it and pick a number, something different, or you wanted to say we don't want to reserve at all. So you're still to have that flexibility because you're under 3 stories. To take the information a reserve study would give you and decide how you want to proceed.
So because we're under 2 stories, there would be no obligation.
Correct. You would technically have to vote to waive reserves, as you technically have always had to. Doesn't mean you've always done that correctly. Most many associations don't, but you do not have to follow reserve studies. Even if you get one done, you don't have to follow it. As long as you vote on your final budget and what you're reserving, that's fine.
Okay, so I just want to drive the point home. We're not getting locked into anything or an obligation by having a reserve study.
Right, you'd be getting information, at the worst, you'd be getting information what you should be doing, and then as a community, you should decide if you want to do what you should, what an engineer tells you you should do, or you can just determine because the law allows it, that's the community to do whatever you as a community decide.
So it sounds like a reserve study is a great way to develop a game plan for next year's budget.
Correct, otherwise you don't know really what tomorrow is. Should you be contributing $20 a month,
Board members, any other questions? You guys have any other questions?
No.
No? Okay, yeah, we're gonna open up to the floor.
Do we have a rough idea how much the reserve study will cost?
Exactly.
How much?
So we have 3 bids.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, we can discuss that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We can share.
But you answered the question, yes.
You can reiterate it.
Yeah, we'll discuss that after.
Okay.
I have a question for Phil.
Can you come up here?
I have a question for the lawyer, for Phil, for whatever.
No, this is for the,
Okay, he opened it for the floor, I can ask a question, so please let me ask my question. Don't cut me. Okay, the lawyer mentioned the reason for reserve study is to save our community of special assessment, as he said. Why would we do a reserve study if we're not gonna budget it for the future? You guys, to save us from a special assessment, we have to pay now. So either you pay now, or you're gonna pay in a special assessment. So if you do a reserve study just to do it, is waste of money. If you do a reserve study to budget for it and make us pay little by little for the future, that makes sense. So it's just not waste of money.
Yes.
So you say we're not obligated, so you just do it for just to do it, that's wrong. You doing it so you
No,
can
I'm not
calculate how
saying
much
that
is
at
good.
all. I'm not saying that. at
No,
all.
because you and Susan came to the lawyer and he said, are we obligated? What is the reason for a reserve study if you're not gonna
So
fund it?
what is the lawyer's opinion? Should we have one or not?
No,
I'm
that's
asking
not
a
a lawyer
question.
opinion.
I'm asking
That's
a
not a lawyer
question.
opinion.
Did the
law-
lawyer advise the community to have one or not?
Yes, to have one,
Thank
it's,
you.
no, listen
The
to me.
lawyer advised, it's
Yeah,
right
you
there in
just-
writing, Nina.
Okay, everyone, now if we have a reserve study and he's not gonna fund it, that's waste of money. If we have a reserve study and he's gonna fund it, that's good. No, but I'm just telling you guys
Okay,
how it
so
is.
guys, I'm gonna read this for our attorney, Michael Bogan. I read it out.
Wait, don't ask him questions.
My apologies.
Somebody else has.
All right, guys, so we have the floor open for the community to ask questions to Casey.
Okay, I wanna ask a question. Typically, since you,
Move
this
close,
one,
close.
you hear me? Do you hear me?
No, go there.
Sorry.
Do you hear me?
Casey, are you there?
Monica wants to say hi.
Hi, so since you do this and you're familiar with what typically are the most expensive items and what are those kinds of buildings that really should benefit from a research study, can you give us examples? Because we are not only a two-story, garden common community, but we don't have, like balconies. Typically, what is the things that are important to have reserves for? I'd like you to name those things. We're not even that close to the beach. I understand that there is a line that those communities are closer to the ocean, right? We don't have elevators, we don't have cooling towers, we don't have carpets, lobbies. We have a pool,
Yeah.
we have a little gym, we have gardens. I don't think, you get my idea. Have you been here? The roof, okay, phase one was built in 1974? 1975, 76, whatever.
84.
No, the first phase.
Phase one.
Phase one was built
In the
before
70s.
78. We just got the roofs done for phase one and two. One and two. Phase three got it done 3 years ago. Those are the most expensive things. That's to give you an idea of what our community is like.
So your roofing is, I don't wanna say guaranteed, but most certainly your most expensive component. And you have it in phases, so it should be scheduled. You're probably gonna continue the phases as, different areas need to be done. You have painting of your community, you have your roadways, you have your clubhouse, roof, you have pool equipment, gym equipment, you have, sports courts, you have probably, been there
other one that, parking is the other one that is obviously expensive. Yeah, thank you.
Question? While we're only 2 stories, we do have about 30 buildings, and every building has stairwells and railings. And as you know, the laws just changed, so I believe we have to get our 40 or 50-year inspections done every 10 years. So would this reserve study include those structural components as far as the railings, the stairwell, and the concrete restoration aspects of the 40-year inspection?
Yes, the way we approach that, because it is a little, a reserve study inspection is very different from your milestone inspection where you will have, or certification inspections is called, but where you have very thorough inspections everywhere, versus a reserve study where we're looking over.
Do you understand what's going on?
I don't see why we gotta do no damn study. We don't even have the money.
Dang.
You know, using our money again to do something that's not necessary because we got a 2-story.
Why are they explaining that? It makes no sense. Like,
because some people are pushing stuff
that we don't need.
Some people are pushing stuff. I don't understand why we got. You see me? There's too much money.
There's too much money that I think we're wasting over here. What you think?
No, I don't think you live here.
I seen you before. Remember we came in, we talked?
About what? Do not take no picture of me because you have me on pictures. Ask me.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do nobody picture without their consent. You know that.
Oh, but
You didn't know that?